Hi everybody, welcome to Dental Voice with Xyrus. My name is Rolando Mia, and today our guest is Dr. Stephen Edwards. Now check this out. What we're going to cover today is this premise that prevention in dentistry is not a four-letter word.
Anymore,
Yes.
anymore.
With the context of anymore. In addition to inventing products and being very provocative with his perspective, Dr. Stevens is a very seasoned dentist. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it and looking forward to speaking with you. So let's get into this. Prevention, right?
Yeah.
It's not a four-letter. What does that mean? What exactly does that mean?
Well, you know, for my whole career, or most of my career, I wanted to educate people, and I would start doing this, and the drill wasn't going.
Wasn't going.
Yeah, and I was criticized for many times for, hey, you know, when you're doing this, the drill isn't going, we're not making money, so, you know, shut your gap, and, you know, your production needs to go up and all this kind of stuff, and, you know, things like that.
Well, that's common, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's all about the
is.
dentist
Yeah.
performing the procedure.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, I just had to knuckle down and stop doing what I wanted to do, which was to educate people and help them to not have dental problems. That was my original goal anyway, to become a dentist, was to not have people have dental problems.
So wait. In dental school, if I understand correctly, dentists are educated to fix problems. Isn't that what dentistry is about? Fixing things that are broken or fixing things that are messed up?
That's what the original concept basically was. In fact, I got to tell you, when I announced that I was going to be going to dental school, my dad said, the dentists are just overpaid technicians or cobblers, you know? And it just really blew my mind. I felt bad because, you know, I mean, I was the first person in my family to actually go do something, you know,
let's go,
whatever. And then I'm like, oh, I'm just going to be an overpaid cobbler. I don't want to do that. So, you know, I wanted to become a real doctor, like Dr. and actually.
Well, you are.
And, you know, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, hitting, okay.
Okay. So that must have been devastating.
It was tough. And then when I got into the second week of dental school, I learned that tooth decay is an infectious transmissible disease and 80% preventable and everything, you know, and I thought, well, why isn't this known? And I'm glad I learned this, you know, and now I can really be a doctor. Then I get out and I'm supposed to do production all day. You know, it doesn't seem right.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
interesting.
I can't explain that, you know, so yeah, that's
So if you look at it, you're right. Decay is a disease, and like all diseases, they're treatable.
Yeah.
But I think what's happened is we've kind of transitioned, or are you saying we transitioned to this point where it's not about treating it, it's about just fixing it?
Absolutely. You know, why would you wait to get hit by a car and then get repaired or something? You know, why would you, you know, things like that.
When you say it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, would you send the military out into the war without protective vests and all that stuff and just be happy to do surgery and repair everything on them, you know, after they come back? It doesn't make sense.
So how did that affect your perspective? I mean, here you are at a dental school and you're trying to educate your patient. You're trying to explain to them so that, you know, they understand, and you're told you're talking way too much. Get the drill going.
Okay.
Get your production going.
Yeah, okay. So what I did was I was the first guy, the first dentist in Orange County to have a website, dental website actually. And I was on Channel 5 KTLA TV.
With this website?
Yeah, they came. Yeah, can you believe that? In 1997, they came down and interviewed. So anyway, I had a website, and I put down the top 10 things on a business card that I made that went to link to my website. I started handing that out so I wouldn't have to talk so much. And then they still said, "Oh, you're handing out an authorized business card, and you can't do that." And then, you know, I couldn't even do that. You know.
So it seemed very controlling.
Hassled all the time about I can't teach, I can't talk, I can't have a business card, I can't send people to my website. Well, all it was educational, you know.
So wait. How many years you been in dentistry now?
37.
So 37. This happened early on, and you're still in dentistry.
Well, like I'm not retired yet.
But how did you get over that? I mean, think about it. For a lot of other people, it would be like, you know what, maybe this isn't for me, but you were able to overcome it.
Okay.
How did you do that?
Well, actually, I did fail. In the first, by 1994 or so, I was broke, bankrupt. I was almost homeless, actually. I didn't really enjoy myself.
As a dentist?
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy myself. I just quit. I quit for 8 months, and I just did odd jobs. I worked in factories. I just painted. I did stuff, until the Black Hawk helicopters came and told me I better get my butt in gear and pay my student loans and things.
So wait. So you
Yeah.
you had a desire to become a doctor, a dentist, treat disease.
Mhm.
You've graduated. You started working, and then you quit.
Yeah, for,
my
for 8
goodness.
months, until I had a family to support and I had no other way. And then something happened to me. I had to, because I was living in my office for a little while, I needed a place to go shower and all that stuff. And so I went to the gym.
Wow.
And I started going to the gym to shower and started exercising and stuff. And then I thought, oral hygiene should be like fitness. It should be a fitness concept in there somehow. There's
Makes sense.
There's methods to everything. There's the exercises and the proper form and function.
Right. And
I saw
getting into a routine.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of abrasions on the teeth from improper brushing. That'd be like lifting weights crazy, and
yeah, right.
Yeah, and so you don't do that. So I started. Then I decided, well, okay, I have to go back to work. The only thing I really can make money at, good enough to pay the bills, is to be a dentist. So I'll knuckle up. I'll just tough it up and go for it. And so I came back and started. I didn't give a crap about what they said about don't lap anymore, and I still got banished. But that led to another.
Wait, you got
thing. That led
banished?
to
Why?
an invention. Okay, and this is what I'd have to say to anybody starting out in dentistry: learn what you have to learn, and then apply your knowledge, and then find something you're interested in and focus on it and do it. Don't burn out like I did. Don't burn out. Focus on something that turns you on and excites you, and then go for it and delve into it. You can really, get your viral knowledge, your tribal knowledge from your elder people and stuff. Get out there, ask questions, meet other people, and don't just hover in your thing and just give up. Go out and do stuff. So
wait. So
doing it.
What kind of motivated what was the catalyst that got you out of kind of the doldrums of that? And then I love this concept of, dental fitness. Yeah. But what was it that kind of got you out of that?
Okay. Well, when I finally did get back into dentistry, and I was good at it, so even though I didn't really anyway, I was good at it, but they sent me to an office in San Diego to start an office down there. And on the second day I was there, this beautiful supermodel girl came in, like 25-year-old supermodel, and my knees went, I was shaky, and I just couldn't.
That's never happened to me. Right.
Yeah. Anyway, I had the unfortunate thing of saying, we need to work on your oral hygiene a little bit more. And she started to yell at me.
We need to work on your oral hygiene.
Yeah, something like that. It's hard to remember anymore because she was yelling at me so much. It was like, you hear buzz, 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 blah.
So that did not make her feel good.
No. And then all I could think of was, like, God, her legs are beautiful. Look at that muscle and stuff. And then I said, do you have a fitness trainer? And she said, what are you going to do? You make fun of me about that or something? I said, no, would you make fun of your fitness trainer? Well, she did have a fitness trainer, but she said, would you make fun of, I said, would you make fun of your fitness trainer or yell at your fitness trainer like you're yelling at me now? And she goes, no. I get it. And so then from that moment, I thought, wow, I just diffused an argument by talking about fitness.
So wait, because you noticed, well, not only was she attractive, she was fit, her legs were muscular. You're like, wait a minute, do you have a fitness trainer?
Yeah.
Then she's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So even though it was still the same message, it sounds like it was kind of an epiphany for your patient.
Yeah, it was
to understand.
Yeah, it was, actually, you're right. It was an epiphany for her too. It was one for me and it was one for her. Yeah.
Because all of a sudden she's like, wait, so what happened from there?
Well, then I wrote a book called Gums of Steel, little book.
Gums of Steel.
Like Buns of Steel. Gums of Steel. And then I wrote another book called The Easy Way to Fight Decay. Like the easy way to stop smoking or something.
So wait. So you transitioned from.
And I applied my fitness stuff in that. Yeah.
So instead of becoming upset or feeling somehow attacked because you were told you're talking too much, get that drill going. You kind of use that to fuel your drive,
Yeah.
and then you created a bunch of things around. So
that's what you have to do. You have to be a creator. You know, if you're just drilling teeth, well, that's kind of creating. But if you're just doing the same thing over drill,
it's boring, right?
Yeah, you have to be a creator. You got to create something, do something different, follow a dream, go for a goal, be unique. You know, I mean, can you advertise yourself by saying, I know 5 ways to do a root canal or something? You know, come here and I'll do 5 of them for you or something like that. No, but you can get people to. I know 5 ways you can stop cavities, you know, in your sleep even, you know, stuff like that, right? You know.
So wait, so this premise of dental fitness, what is that about?
It's kind of a lifestyle. It's not oral hygiene. Oral hygiene is part of it. My breath is that.
No, go ahead. So oral hygiene, oral hygiene is.
It's kind of a lifestyle. Cracking me up.
Now you're getting me going. Okay, oral hygiene is a lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. You know, it's like there are people who they get off the couch and get their own beer, you know, instead of like, hey, get me a beer. You know, they're actually doing stuff. They get up. They go up the stairway instead of the. You know, they're active. They pick up the fruit that they drop on the floor and whatever they push the shopping cart. It's a lifestyle that you have to kind of be into, and you got to think of your teeth first, because you know dental problems are like the first or second most common human affliction, and
that's true.
Tooth decay is the #1 chronic disease in kids. Right? It shouldn't be that way. It's 80% preventable, for gosh sakes. You know, it's not like brain surgery or rocket surgery or whatever. You know.
So the premise behind it is that this is an affliction. This is something that you can actually do something about, but not enough people have come to the realization.
Well, it's because there's more than just brush and floss. You know, when you think about brush and floss, you know, or rinse your mouth or something, visit your dentist twice. What if I used to be a fitness trainer, by the way? Okay, so that's another thing. I got into fitness. I became a fitness trainer for 24-hour fitness, and when I was 43, I beat my bench press record of 300 pounds. You know, and stuff. So, like, you know, anyway, I started. I lost track of what I was saying.
So you were a fitness trainer. The context around fitness.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, the concept of fitness is, if I were I was a fitness trainer before. If I were to tell you to just eat right and exercise, you know, that's everybody knows that, you know.
Yeah.
But
eat right,
exercise is what? Exercise is how many weights? When you do, what do you do? Do you kettlebells or whatever? You use machines. Exercise is physical fitness has now got nutrition and supplementation in it. You know, you got to know supplements and stuff, and the proper way to exercise and so forth.
So it sounds like dental fitness is not simply brushing your teeth.
No.
What would you say
how you do it?
Yeah. What would you say are the components of dental fitness? If you were to map those out, what would those be?
Okay. Well, you know, dental fitness starts with education.
Right.
Okay. You don't know until you're told something. And then when you're told something, then you start having interest, okay? Then if you find out that you are probably at risk for something to go wrong, then you start to pay attention. And then if there's something that's easy and affordable to do that can mitigate the possibility of some kind of problem, like a cavity or whatever, then you get motivated to actually maybe do something about it. And then after that, and you know, motivation, and then there's gamesmanship and, you know, sportsmanship and things like that, and goals and offense and defense and all, kind of turned it into a game. You see?
So it's a lot more comprehensive than simply telling people.
I don't mean it to be complicated, you know, but it's comprehensive. It's more comprehensive than brush, floss, and rinse and visit your dentist, you know. And so then there's motivation. Then there's supplementation, which is extremely important, because you know, tooth decay can happen whether you eat or not, because we have mucoproteins in our mouth, and there's a protein, a mucus, and then there are bacteria that split the mucoprotein, and then you got a mucus is a carbohydrate. Okay, so you got a carbohydrate fraction that can be then eaten by a bacteria and feed decay. You know, So you can You know.
So it's about understanding each of the different parameters.
Yeah, exactly. So
then bring it to your patient in a manner that they can understand.
That's right. So we have to have supplementation because that overcomes a lot of the nutritional problems that we have. We're not usually eating right all the time, you know, so we need supplementation to overcome some of that.
Right,
then, of course, we need the proper nutrition. And then there's personal training. And then there's the actual exercise. The personal training is kind of like, on video doing stuff, online courses and things.
So wait,
and then there's exercise, and then there's the dentist.
So in dental, in explaining to young dentists about dental fitness, and if they wanted to explore and wanted to understand kind of how to start with that, what are actionable steps that young dentists, whether they're out of school or they've started their practice, or even if they've already been in practice for 10 years, what are the steps that you would suggest that they take to start beginning that? Because it seems simple but not, and then it seems complex but you don't want it to be. So what would those be?
Well, here's what I do. I try to get to know my patients on the personal level pretty much. And I ask them 2 questions basically. I ask them, what do you do for a living, or if they're retired, or what is your main hobby that you have?
Right.
You know? And then, remember Glenn Campbell?
Yeah.
He would come on, and he would, at the end of his show, he would say, name a thing, and I'll do a music. I'll
write a song
right there. You know. Okay, so when I have what their job is or what their main hobby is or something, I instantly think of the dental fitness concept that could go along with that. You know.
And then you associate it to that,
so then you get people started, and then you say, see, I look at it from a fitness standpoint. And if you're a realtor and you've got to deal with somebody and their financial, profile or whatever, that's the same as the guns. A 6mm pocket is you got like a 400 on your, score or something. And so then they start to see it from their own mind, you see. And then so you're not this ogre that's telling people they got to brush and floss more. And then you segue into how fitness can, fitness affects. I mean, you just got to get up and move more and everything too, with your 10,000 steps and things like that. But there's more to it if you really want to advance.
So it's about
getting personal.
So it's about, well, first of all, taking time to understand, associating what needs to be done to something that they already have a context around, and then establishing an easy or a routine that they can follow. Is that what you're saying?
Like, okay, when I was a fitness trainer, it was easy to say, one more rep, one more stand, come on, do it, come on, you can do it,
Negative, whatever.
But my hardest part was to try to get people to follow through at home and make their food a week ahead of time, right, and get everything ready and put their gym clothes out so that they don't have an excuse in the morning that I couldn't find anything, couldn't go running or something like that,
So it's about establishing a mindset that isn't just simply brush and floss. It's a mindset that you need to align your dental fitness to a routine that you can follow.
A routine. And the routines can be different for people. That's the cool thing. It's dental fitness is customizable, or systemic fitness is customizable to everybody. Everybody's got different needs,
habits,
and so maybe I don't like to floss, right? Okay, well, there's water pick, there's other stuff, there's the interdental brush picks and stuff, or there's the new thing of Phytolite. I don't know if you've seen that or not.
No, but there are options for you to follow. And it makes it, from a clinical perspective, for people who are watching this, in establishing this context around dental fitness prevention, what would you say they should not absolutely do? What is the worst thing that they could do in this whole process based on your experience?
Wow. Prevention, what they shouldn't do. I don't know. I was all for what they should do,
Yeah, no, but what would you tell them based on your experience? Don't do this because you're going to freak out your patient.
They shouldn't ignore. Okay, they shouldn't get maybe too graphic. Maybe I've been accused. I've said, floss is like toilet paper, and then I've been accused of saying their mouth's like a rubber end or something. So
like a toilet.
Make it more pleasant for people somehow, and never shame anybody. Don't shame anybody. Just talk about never shame anybody, basically. Never should on somebody, right?
Never should, because then it makes me feel
you should do more. No. Here's something you can do. Here's another alternative. Look how many ways there are to exercise. Look how many dances. There must be. Look at all
So in other words,
martial arts.
Yeah, you're not going in there and telling them all the things that they've done wrong.
Yeah, because and all they're thinking is brush and floss, and they, I already do that, right? And I still get
not
cavities.
working. Yeah.
Well, because let's try some new stuff, Yeah.
It's it's amazing to think that when I've been I've been around for a while and I've been to the dentist, and you're right. The mindset that I've heard or I believe is you got to brush and you got to floss.
Yeah.
And you got to make sure that you're doing this on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But I've not really only very recently been exposed to this idea that there are other things that you do in your life that affect you.
Okay. So we got a new person at one of my dental offices. Okay.
Right.
And I said, I want you to look at my website. Okay, please. And so she did. And yesterday she said, doctor, you're smarter and funnier than I thought, actually. Okay, why is that? And she goes, well, for one thing, the video of you and your wife shooting you in the face with the water and everything, because I was demonstrating a water pick outside, and I had her with the hose, and everything. Anyway, but the other thing she said was, I like that video where you put the toothpaste on your teeth first and squished it between your teeth and then flossed it between your teeth and everything. I never heard of that before. And so I told my daughter about that, and she tried it, and she said, man, that feels really good. It's different. I've never felt that way before. I've been doing that since I was 10. It's kind of weird. Why wouldn't you put the toothpaste on?
So it's about going outside and experience better. Yeah. Let me ask you this. Throughout, it's interesting that the catalyst was that very attractive patient that came in that you said, let's deal with your oral health. Yeah. And she freaked out on you. And then by shifting a message slightly, she came around. And then because of that, you've created this entire context around fitness, around prevention. Yeah. And it's not a bad word. It's not about being mean. How would you kind of sum this up for viewers, for people who are sitting here? Because, there are a lot of things that we've touched on here. But if you were to bring it all together and say, okay, here's the deal. Yeah, prevention is not a 4-letter word anymore. Don't make it a 4-letter word by shooting or shaming your patients. Yeah. What advice would you give people and to start so that they can, take something from this and do it right now?
Well, for one thing, you could learn more about oral systemic health, and fitness in general.
Beyond just the general things, right?
And then just try to apply it and stuff. Maybe go to my website and learn something. But also, I want to say something too. If you go, prevention is the most important thing we have to do in dentistry. We wouldn't have all the teeth to fix if we didn't prevent them from just falling out all the time, right? So prevention is the ultimate goal. And the more teeth we save, the more there are for people to fix, I guess, whatever. But there's more teeth to prevent too, and there's more to talk about. And you have something you need to talk about. You can come up with ideas every day on it. So you can use that as marketing, okay? And you can cut your marketing costs by having your own newsletter, for example, on dental fitness and stuff. And you'll get proactive people coming. And then the more proactive people who come,
they'll talk to other people.
Yeah, right. And it's something new that they tell people, like my assistant told her daughter, yesterday. And then you save money on that, and then it's like, I believe in the corridor concept. You go down the hall, you open the door, and then it goes to another corridor. You never know what's going to happen. It could be a lot of cool stuff happening behind these different corridors. You don't just stop.
Don't just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, just you go off and So definitely learn about oral systemic health, because that's where things are going. Okay, and I'm a member of the American Association of Oral Systemic Health, and I'm not promoting that. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I joined that because I like what they say, and I think that's really important. That a lot of people are telling me, hey, the mouth is connected to the body. I heard, of course.
Only now, right?
Yeah. I had a patient who asked me, how's come I have to have take antibiotics for my knee? How does my knee implant affect my heart or something? And I had to explain, how,
Well, it also goes to show that a lot of people don't fully understand, and as a clinician and a dental professional, it is important that we educate people around how this affects them systemically.
And just how you started this as an experiment, kind of, right? With your company. dentists can start an experiment like this in their own office. You know, they can start doing podcasting, or they can whatever. I know they have a lot of business to do and everything, but a lot of younger dentists are already familiar with all this stuff, right? And I'm 68, I'm doing it, you know, so you younger people can do it. Come on, get off it.
There you go. So Dr. Edwards has also invented a whole bunch of different products. You shared something with me. It's some kind of strip, is that right?
Oh yeah, I did bring it, and it's right here. And by the way, because I say that, you know, in fitness you have to have supplementation, right?
Right.
Well, oral systemic fitness supplementation. I realized back when I started this in about 1994 that I needed a supplement, a dental supplement, you know, and it took all this time to get this. And what it is that it's a probiotic strip, and in here are 10 different
probiotics.
Yeah. This is an older version. I have a newer version that has fewer.
And what does it do?
This delivers probiotics into the mouth in a time-release fashion, kind of like a drip irrigation or whatever, and it works overnight in your mouth.
So you just put it in your mouth?
Yeah, I know it looks a little big, but you can. The beauty is you can fold it and make it smaller, and the more folds you make, the longer it lasts.
And what you just stick it in your mouth?
Yeah, and you just stick it up in here like this.
And just leave it.
It sticks in a few seconds. There, it's stuck. It's already stuck. So it's already stuck, and it'll stay in my mouth now for about, well, I'm talking a lot right now, so it might last an hour or something like that. But at work, if I'm not talking too much and my drill is spinning, you know.
And what is this called?
This is called Breathific. Breathific, yeah.
So I just love the fact that, one, you're constantly curious, you're always looking at things, but this idea of dental fitness as a concept and prevention should be integrated into dentistry is huge. If people wanted to ask you questions about that or wanted to contact you, what would be the best way for them to do that?
Well, my email would be good. It'd be ddsedwards@gmail.com.
DDS Edwards.
I lucked out on that one, you know. DDSEdwards@gmail.com.
And then if people wanted to find out some of the other things that you've done, is there a website or that they could go look at?
Yeah, the website's a little hard. It's because I'm about renewing oral health.
Right.
It's Renews Oral, RENUZORAL.
RENUZORAL.com.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That renews it like the air freshener, although it does freshen breath.
I love it. I love it.
And you can wake up and get a kiss instead of a kick or a slap.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dr. Stephen, you know, I love the energy, the enthusiasm that you have in this. It's really so cool to hear that an event, or early in your career, these events that could be quite devastating, actually spurred you to do, invent things, do all sorts of things. You're constantly doing it. You still love it. Thank you so much for joining us and kind of sharing and giving some insight into what you've done. You're right. Prevention is not a four-letter word. Prevention anymore. There you go. And that oral fitness is a key aspect of everything.
Oral systemic fitness.
Oral systemic. There you go. Thank you so much.
Good to see it. Thank you so much for allowing me to be
no, this is wonderful, and thank you for taking time. Hey, folks, if you like or have any questions for Dr. Stephen Edwards, please go check him out. If you like the content of this Dental Voice, please share it, give a like, join us for our next event. Looking forward to seeing you. Take care, guys. Appreciate it.